6. Verse 6. Please move fast now. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge, an unjust judge. Meanwhile, God is the representative of that judge there. That judge is representing God. It does not mean that God is unjust, but here is a statement that gives it the balance. That if an unjust judge can do this, how much more of God? So he now said, and shall no God avenge his own elect, which cry to him what? Day and night. Everybody say day and night. Unto him, though he bear long with them. Go to verse 8. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man come, shall he find faith on earth? Faith is the factor. Okay. The third dimension of prayer is approaching God as a judge. Hey, Vinama, this is where I'm dwelling. This is the meat of tonight's message. You approach God as a judge to bring an end to a matter that involves an adversary. You call on God as Father to meet your need. You go to him as friend to solve the issue of another person. You go to him as a judge when an adversary is involved in your matter. Let me tell you something. This third dimension of prayer that I'm showing you is the reason. That is where a lot of believers, pastor, that's where a lot of believers are stuck. They don't know how to deal with the adversary. A lot of believers. Listen, that example I gave you again. That example I gave you again. It's a reality. That it is not every issue. It's not every time you hit your leg on a stone that you say, I bind you, devil. There are some hitting your leg against a stone. It is because of, in short, it's because of the kind of shoe you are wearing. The shoe have nearly separated, the sole have nearly separated from the, so the way you are wearing, you are walking now, it's normal for you to hit your leg against the stone. Do you understand? But when you are walking normal, or you are driving a very good car, or you are trekking, you are healthy, nothing is wrong with you. Medically speaking, check, nothing is wrong with you. And that kind of person is still telling you that, see, I'm feeling inside that as if my heart is breaking. A colonel in the Nigerian army, they gave him my contact. He called me. He falls ill. And when he falls ill, he cannot diagnose what is wrong with him. If they ask a gallant colonel that what is wrong with you, he says he just feels weak. He can't do anything. And that sickness does not come until his promotional exams. How do you explain that? What kind of sickness is that it does not come? The person is normal until when promotional exam comes. So he had failed the exam 2 times. The third one, he was going to be retired. So he called me. As he was speaking to me, the Lord said, tell him to go and write the exams without fear. When he goes to that exam, somebody is going to be absent for his sake. How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense, but it makes God. I told him. He went for the exams. And that day, there's a way he explained it to me, that they usually choose odd numbers. The supervisors of that exam, they are usually, so you either have 3 or 5 or 7. So that if there's a tie or whatever, there's a decision to be made, 3 people can say, oh yeah, let him go and all of that, but there won't be any tie. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that day, and usually the way he explained it to me, he said all those 5 people, they don't know themselves until they enter that hall. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you are supervising somebody. But you will not know who you are even supervising. They just give you number, blah, blah, blah. It is when you enter the hall, that's when you meet yourself and say, oh, okay, we are supervising this person. So that there's no whatever. So the general that was supervising, that was overseeing the whole stuff, the man said, while the stuff was going on, he said there's somebody that's missing. So he just continued. After a while again, he looked at his time. He said, somebody is missing. So the other officers now said, Oga, you are telling us somebody is missing. You are the one that know all of us. We is here inside this room. That's where we met ourselves. So this somebody is missing, you are saying now. It's only you that know who is missing. So when he finished the exam and all of that, he called me straight. He said, Pastor, I said, I don't know what happened. No. But the general that was overseeing was saying that somebody is missing. Somebody is missing. Somebody is missing. That's how the man crossed though. How do you explain? Do you understand? I'm saying when an adversary is involved in your matter, there's a kind of resistance that you face that is different from having just a need. Do you understand? That somebody, for example, is needing an admission, and because, oh, there's a lot of competition, okay, didn't get it this year, didn't get it, it's different from that somebody, even when he went to a university that is not competitive, and he knows the VC one-on-one, still the VC put his name, but the VC is surprised how his name is not there at the end. I've seen those kind of cases before. When an adversary is involved in your matter, you don't approach God as a father. Everybody say this with me. Say, when an adversary is involved in your matter, you don't approach God as a father. Now, God is a God of principles, and I need you to know that. And in spiritual warfare and in the dimensions of prayer I'm telling you about, this dimension of prayer is a legal dimension of prayer. It is ruled by principles. Do you understand? So, for example, Prof, imagine that you are his blood brother. Okay? Imagine that you're his blood brother. And he's a specialist. In what areas, sir? Pediatric surgery. Okay, imagine that somebody who is a blood relation of his has a child that needs surgery. But anytime you talk about Professor Olo, you say, no, now my brother. I get one brother I did for Kukalada, I get one brother I got. You are talking about him as your brother. But as long as that child is involved, you need to approach him as a specialist in that area. Are you understanding what I'm saying? If this person refuses and still say, now my brother, he come from the same town, the same village now we come from. He keeps seeing him as a father, as a friend. Is it true? Yes, he's his father. Yes, he can be his friend. Yes, he can be a father figure to him.